Well, howdy folks, Hellcrex here, and welcome to Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere, episode 114. And today we're going to be talking about another clan mech, another Omni, the 80-ton man-of-war, aka Gargoyle, or Gargoyle, aka man-of-war, depending on what side of the fence you're standing on. Now, the 80-ton man-of-war is the mech that the Charger wish it could be. Let's put it that way. It's not a very popular mech with a lot of people because being an assault mech, it doesn't have a lot of firepower. There's medium mechs and light or heavy mechs that have more firepower than this thing. But you're talking about an 80-ton mech that goes 580. Yes, it doesn't have jump jets, but it carries around that 400 XL engine, which makes it a 5.8 mover at 80 tons. That's pretty good. It also carries around 16 double heat sinks, so it can dissipate 32 heat, which is more than enough, more than adequate for however you want to configure this thing. It has 211 points of armor, which is 11 tons. Basically, with the ferro fibers that it has, if you added another 1.5 tons to it, yeah, you'd have maxed out armor, or pretty close to maxed out armor. Now, one thing that's missing on this mech that it was designed by Clan Wolf, Indosteel. You know, it would really help this mech out even more if you put Indosteel on it. That's 4 more tons. Imagine what you can do with 4 more tons on an assault mech. Heck, that's a clan streak system, streak 6 that you can throw on there, or another 1.5 tons of armor, or if you really want to be mobile, you could throw on some jump jets. Okay, not that this thing could, most assault mechs can't really afford to put jump jets on, but hey, that's just one of the things you can think about. Alright, so it does have the double heat sink, or not double, or it's got the XL engines. Geez, say that 10 times fast. In right and left torso, then it has some ferrofibers in the head. It's got 1 in each arm, and then we have 2 in each torso. Alright, so there's your 7 points of ferrofibers. So you could also toss in a couple, if you did put Indosteel on, you got plenty of room on this thing. This thing does not want for space because, when you got 21.5 tons of pod space, you're going to have plenty of room to put things on, especially when you're assault mech, because you can put some big weapons on there that soak up that pod space pretty quickly. Now, the primary configuration, which comes in with the LBX5 autocannon in the right arm with an SRM6 standard in the right arm, has a ton of ammo for each in the right torso, and then we got, once again, an LBX5 and an SRM in the left arm. So it's basically 2 peas in a pod. So you got 2 LBX5 cannons and 2 SRM6s, and then you have the ammo in the left torso. And it also carries around in the center torso an ER small laser, but that 1/2 ton's got to go someplace. Now this one here, this configuration is basically a crit hunter. It doesn't have the punch at all. You're only carrying around 1 ton of ammo, so yeah, if you're going to do with an LBX, it's got to be, well, at least one's got to be the cluster round. So yeah, that just throws it immediately into the crit hunter, and you throw in those 2 SRM6s. So basically you're relying on everybody else to tear their armor off something, and then you follow up with this thing and go, I hope I can get some crit shots in. That's pretty much it. That's it in a nutshell. That's the primary version of the man of war, and everybody looks at that and go, well, that sucks. A lot of times they're thinking assault mechs have to be something that rips armor off and sloughs it off. It's like, all right, we're going to tear off about 70 points of your armor in one shot. Okay, well, this one doesn't do that. Sadly, it falls under the role as a crit hunter. That's its primary role. And you throw it in there with a, let's say, a bunch of Rylkins or something of this heavy nature. This thing could still be used as a star commander of a flanking unit, because it's an 80-tonner that can go 5'8". So a lot of times you're going to have intersphere mechs that most 5'8s are found in the medium category, but this is an assault mech. And let me tell you, if you're a medium mech lance commander and you come running around the corner and you're sitting there with your little enforcer, and suddenly you're looking at a towering beast for the very first time, and it comes running around the corner and it's moving faster than you, you're going, oh my god, what is that? And it just suddenly starts ripping you to pieces. And with these kind of mechs, the assault mechs, if the intersphere loves to get in close to their opponent, clan, like I said, always likes to stay out of range, use its extended range weapons to its advantage, while intersphere likes to grab a hold of you by the nose and start kicking you in the ass. Okay, you get close to an assault mech like this, let me tell you, if it kicks you and you're a medium mech, you might be losing a leg. Alright, the alpha configuration. Now this one's getting a little bit more into my style. You have 2 ER PPCs in the right arm, a large pulse laser in the left arm, a medium pulse laser in the left arm, ER medium laser in the left arm, and an ER small laser in the left arm. Coming in at about 2,700 battle value. Great one. I like this one configuration for kind of the weapon system. Not that I would run the 2 ER PPCs. I would, to be honest with you, would run 3 large pulse lasers instead of the ER PPCs. Using your speed and throwing 3 large pulse lasers, that's 30 points of damage. And you get into some intersphere mechs that are like the medium category and light category, and they think they're using their speed to their advantage, and you got a good pilot in this thing with good gunnery, and you got pulse lasers, and suddenly they're getting hit with 30 points of damage. Let me tell you, a light or medium mech, typically they get 30 points of damage ripped off of them. They're going to go, oh, what the heck was that? Or where'd my arms go? Or where'd my leg go? Type of deal. Now, the downside of this one is that all of the weapons are in the arms. This is the problem I find with the clans. They put all their eggs in their 1 or 2 baskets, and you rip the arms off of them, and next thing you know, they don't have any weapon systems at all. They're just like, oh, what? I guess I'm turning around and going back to the get some new arms installed. So that's kind of the how I look at Alpha. Bravo configuration. Now this one's kind of an interesting one. We have a Gauss rifle with 2 tons of ammo, an LRM-10 in the left arm with Artemis and a ton of ammo, and then we have an SRM-4 in the left arm with a ton of ammo and Artemis. Once again, we have all the weapons in the arms. Now with the Gauss rifle, okay, that does 15 points damage, and yeah, it shoots out at a good distance. But once again, let's see, we got you're lucky if, 1, 4, 5, 8. Yeah, this thing, you're lucky if it does what, 11 points of heat. This thing is cool. So you're not taking advantage of all those 16 double heat sinks. So in this configuration, once again, I'd be rather dump the Gauss rifle for ERPPC. You got the heat sinks, use them. Use them to your advantage. And that will free up a bit of more ton to upgrade, let's say, the LRM to an LRM-15 and some streaks instead of the SRM-4s. Alright? Kind of like how I look at it. Not a configuration I ever really liked using. It just doesn't scream to me. It's one of those ones that, yeah, I can sit back and do a lot of damage with the Gauss rifle, but you're not really taking advantage of all your equipment you have on board. Now here's one I've used a lot. This is the C configuration, Charlie. Has 6 ER medium lasers in the right arm. Let me tell you, you get hit with 6 ER medium lasers. That's 30 points of heat. You have 16, so you can dissipate 32. So if you run, you don't have any problem with heat at all with those. Now, when you get within 12, you are carrying around an Ultra 20 autocannon in the left arm with 2 tons of ammo. And then you have, in the right and left leg, we have assault pods. Alright, APODs. Now this one, you know what this one tells me it's for? This is for killing elementals or just running up and doing a kind of an alpha strike on other assaults. So if you double rocket with that AC-20, you get that thing in range. Yeah, you can do that for 5 turns, and hopefully you can do 40 points of damage if they double pumps that thing and both hit. But yeah, let's see, that's 14. That leaves you, you could fire in some of those ER medium lasers. But I'm always look at this one. This is one that's wanting to get close. It's like, all right, there's a whole bunch of elementals out there that need to go, and this one will get close enough, stay out of the range of the elementals, closer weapons, and just start hitting them with ER medium lasers. And then if a mech comes by, yeah, here, go have an AC-20. Enjoy your day, type of thing. That's kind of like how I look at it. Alright, the Delta configuration is a ER large laser in the right arm. We got a medium pulse laser in the right arm, 2 more double heat sinks in the right torso, an ER large laser in the left arm, a medium pulse laser in the left arm, a targeting computer. Alright, 2 more double heat sinks in the left torso, an medium pulse laser in the center torso, and ER small laser. Yeah, obviously you got that half a ton. You got to put it someplace. Coming in at 2,500 battle value. All right, this is an interesting one. I've used this one quite a bit. The 2 ER larges. All right, you're cranking out 24. If you run, that's 26. You can handle that with no problem. You can even throw in a medium pulse laser too, because obviously you got 4 more heat sinks. That puts you at 20. You can dissipate 40. This mech does not worry about heat at all, because you're looking at 34, 35, 36. You're not going to do a lot of heat at all. This thing runs cool. Now, when you look at the configuration edit, don't necessarily need those 2 more heat sinks. You probably could have used those and put 2 more ER medium lasers or something on it. And then when you got closer, you could shut off an ER large laser and throw in the 2 ER medium lasers and do a little bit more damage instead. Now, that's something how I look at that one. I like it, and I kind of tweak it myself. That's kind of like how I would do it. And because I'm really good with my heat management, I don't necessarily have to rip somebody to pieces and try to do alpha strike, and then fry my mech. That's just not the way I operate. Now, the Echo configuration. This is one we're getting to more advanced technology. We got the ATM-12 in the right arm with 3 tons of ammo. Obviously, you're setting it up so you can use all 3 different kinds of ammo. We have 2 ER micro lasers. Micro lasers. That's kind of like an anti-infantry stuff. We have a heavy medium lasers, 2 of those in the left arm. We got 2 heavy medium lasers in the left torso. A Streak 6, love Streak 6s, with a ton of ammo in the left torso. Targeting computer, yes, we're doing very well here. And then we have 2 more double heat sinks in both legs. So we got 18, so we can dissipate 36. With the heavy lasers, we got 4 of those, so obviously that's a little bit more heat. Okay, yeah, but it runs pretty cool. So that was another one that doesn't necessarily run hot, and it does have some really long-range weapons with the ATM. Or if you get in closer, you got something that can really hurt somebody pretty bad, with those heavy lasers. And then you still got the ATM. if you shoot the one with the short range like cluster muscles, you're going to be ripping armor off people. And it's fairly cheap. It comes in at 2,200 battle value. That ain't bad at all. And you can figure, when you think about it, that could make a very good heavy star commander mech. So it can sit back, control everything, shoot things at long range, and when things get closer, they start hammering away with the mediums. Now the G version, okay, here we get into shotgun land. We have the LBX 20 in the right arm with 3 tons of ammo. So obviously I would put either 2-shot cluster munitions and 1 solid, or vice versa. And that just lets you work pretty good at blasting and just scraping armor off somebody. So your star mates will tear a lot of armor off, and then you hit them with that 20 cluster and you get all 20. Ouch. That's a lot of potentials for doing crits on somebody, and especially the inner sphere ones. Before they get case or anything on their mechs, you hit ammo, that's done dinner there. Alright, we have 3 AP Gauss rifles in the left arm with a ton of ammo. And we got 4 ER medium lasers in the left torso. Alright, that comes in about 2,100 battle value. Now, that's a good one. Like I said, this one here, it can do the job. It doesn't have very long range weapons. 15 or less, then you got 15, and then you got the 12 range with the LBX cannon. This one here, it has to use a lot more cover and concealment, because if you see this thing coming, you're probably going to be either focusing on it, or it could be overlooked because, you know, it's like, it's just a man of war. If you played long enough and you see it, I'm not worried about the man of war. They usually don't have a lot of firepower. And you're picking on, let's say, oh, there's the Rylkins, oh, there's that Timberwolf over there. I'm going to go focus on those because those are more deadly. And this thing comes up and just starts scraping your armor off with those ER medium lasers, and suddenly let's say your Atlas, it's got some holes in it, and then it gets hit by this cluster munition from the LBX 20, and then you're just like, oh, hit, chance critical, hit, chance critical, hit, chance critical, hit, chance critical. And then you roll those, and suddenly you got 4, 6 criticals that hit areas that might have ammo. Let's say you got a 1-6, then it's a 1-5, then it's a 1-4. You see, the odds are getting more in your favor to watch that Atlas turn itself into a mushroom cloud. That's why I like doing that. Now, the H configuration has an AC-10 Ultra in the right arm with 2 tons of ammo. So this thing can shoot for 10 turns, just banging away. And we have a heavy large laser in the left arm with 2 ER medium lasers in the left arm, and LRM 10 in the left torso with a ton of ammo. Comes in at 2,100 battle value. Alright, so that's another one where you can unleash with the autocannon, the Ultra, and do up to 20. And then you got the heavy lasers and the ER medium lasers. So this thing in the LRM, this thing doesn't really worry too much about heat either. It runs pretty cool. That's the thing about this mech. It doesn't necessarily run hot at all if you configure it right, or just block your weapons into specific types. It's like, I'll fire these, and I'll fire these. And keep your heat down. Because this thing right here, being a 5.8, you don't want to slow it down. You want to keep it moving at 5.8. And preferably getting that 7 hex move, or 7-inch move, however if you're using open terrain. And getting that 3 modifier. And you add the opponent's modifiers on there, a lot of times it's going to be hard to hit this mech. And that's what you got to look at. Is when it comes to heat with a lot of these ones, don't heat your mech up, because you're only going to hurt yourself. Because if I see a mech that's slowing itself down, oh, it's going to be game on. But then again, if you got an assault mech and it has a lower modifier, everybody's going to be shooting at it, focusing it down, they might be ignoring something else too. So it might be, here's a shiny goldfish over here. Go shoot the shiny goldfish. Ignore what's coming around your flank. Sometimes you got to use the pawn. And then we got the M configuration with a Hag 20, which wasn't really popular. It has 3 tons of ammo to go with the Hag. ERPPC in the left arm, 3 SRM2s in the left torso with a ton of ammo. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not really feeling the SRM2s because, heck, I'd rather just go with a Streak 6 instead and then just throw the extra tonnage in there with the either another large ER medium laser or something. So, yeah, the M's not a very popular one. It's not one that I don't think I've even seen it at any conventions or anything either. And I played a lot of clan stuff over the years, so that's a new one to me. I don't think I've ever seen it, or it might have been on the field, but I've never played with it, so I can't really give an opinion on it. But it doesn't really scream at me that hard. That the Hag 20 might be an interesting thing to hit somebody with, though. Yeah, could do some damage. One of the popular ones I like to use usually has, like I said, the one where you got the let's see, which one is it? Yeah, it's the A configuration where you got the 3. I configure it with 3 large pulse lasers, and then we got the medium pulse lasers. I have a tendency to put some more of those into the what do you call it? The torsos. So I do have opportunity, because when you're playing against clans, arms get ripped off quickly. Because clan mechs do a lot of damage quick, and I'd prefer to put a little more of my eggs in around the whole mech. Make use of all the different open spots, and then instead of throwing them on. Yeah, I know the clans that like the, they get rid of the hand actuator, lower arm actuators, and then they can flip and stuff, But there isn't very often that you're going to see a mech do a lot of flipping, unless it has most of its armor ripped off the front and it's got more in the back. Then it's going to turn around and flip the arms around. But that isn't something that happens a lot in a lot of games, because a lot of times I've seen them, they just like, the mech's dead. It just drops because it got ripped to pieces. And I've seen clan mechs many times not survive even one turn of other clan fire. It's like, well, sorry about your assault or your heavy. It's gone. Everybody focus fired on it. It's toast. Goes up in a big giant fireball quickly. And both sides do that to each other in rapid succession. So that's pretty much everything about the man-war or the gargoyle. And one of the things I always like to use it for, like I said before, is this. This makes a really good star commander of a medium or heavy lance. I don't really like using it with an assault star, because if I'm going to use an assault star, I want something with heavy hitters in there with a lot of firepower, and that's going to be coming up with like the Massacre or something like that, the Warhawk. But when it comes to the man-of-war, I like to relegate it down farther into the lighter spectrum, because if you're doing an anti-scout role or something of that nature, yeah, there's other ones that run a lot faster. But let me tell you, you bring in just a psychological aspect of the psychological warfare of bringing in a assault into a medium mech battle, where it's going to be the anti-scout configuration of that, and suddenly they come around and it's like, oh my gosh, what is that thing? Especially if it's a game where you're first starting to play with each other and not really knowing what things are. Because I remember when we first started playing against the clans and getting hit with something like that, it does a number on the psychology of the individuals that you're playing against. That's not a bad deal at all. So that's something to think about when it comes to playing this game. Alright, that's everything in a nutshell. Like and subscribe. Share with your friends. Tell everybody about the channel and all the stuff. And we got some other stuff that's going on. We got another big game coming up here in a couple weeks, so I hopefully will have some more information coming your way. Alright, hope you guys like this one. We'll talk to you again later. Hellcracks out.